Have you ever accidentally terrified a criminal into going straight? My neighbors and I unintentionally turned a car thief into the most paranoid person alive, and he ended up completely changing his life. It was 3:17 a.m. on a Tuesday when my car alarm started blaring. I stumbled to the window expecting to see a cat, or maybe the wind, but instead found some guy in dark clothes trying to break into my Honda Civic with what looked like a coat hanger and screwdriver setup. My first instinct was to call 911, but our neighborhood had been dealing with a string of car break-ins for months, and the police response time was usually 45 minutes minimum. Instead, I grabbed my phone and sent a message to our neighborhood group chat. Car thief actively working on my Honda in my driveway right now. What happened next was like watching a flash mob of insomniacs materialize. Within 3 minutes, I counted 12 neighbors emerging from their houses in various states of pajama-clad readiness. Nobody was armed or aggressive. They just appeared in their yards with flashlights, phones, and whatever household items they'd grabbed on the way out. Mrs. Patterson, my 70-year-old retired librarian neighbor, was the first to start the commentary that would change this guy's life forever. In her clear, projected voice that probably carried 3 blocks, she began narrating like she was calling a nature documentary. Oh, now he's trying the passenger side door. Look how he keeps checking that coat hanger technique. He's definitely done this before, folks. Then Jim from across the street, a guy who runs a YouTube channel about home security, pulled out his phone and started recording. This is perfect footage for my car theft prevention series. The lighting is actually pretty good for 3 a.m. More neighbors joined the real-time analysis. Dave shouted, "I'd rate that lock manipulation a solid 4 out of 10. Needs more wrist rotation." Sandra added, "His situational awareness is terrible though. Didn't even notice us until Mrs. Patterson started the play-by-play." The thief was getting visibly flustered. He kept looking around at his growing audience of suburban critics, clearly not expecting his criminal activity to become a community spectacle with live commentary and performance ratings. Mrs. Patterson continued her narration. "Oh dear, he's sweating quite a bit now. That's not good technique. Stress affects fine motor control." Then she called out directly to him, "Honey, you might want to invest in better tools. That coat hanger looks like it came from the dollar store." The breaking point came when our neighbor Tom, a high school drama teacher, started doing color commentary like a sports announcer. "And he's going for the window approach now, folks. This is a bold strategy change, but let's see if it pays off." The thief finally stopped, looked directly at our impromptu audience of 12 people in pajamas providing detailed feedback on his burglary technique, and just ran. Not a casual jog, a full sprint down the street like he was being chased by zombies. But Mrs. Patterson wasn't done. As he fled, she shouted after him, "We know where you live, sweetie. Blue house with the broken fence 2 blocks over. We see you walking past every morning on your way to wherever." She was completely wrong about where he lived, but the thief didn't know that. Here's where the story gets really interesting. About 6 months later, I was getting my oil changed at a shop across town when the mechanic looked familiar. It was our car thief, now wearing a legitimate uniform and actually fixing cars instead of stealing them. He recognized me immediately and turned bright red. You're from that neighborhood," he stammered. Turns out our accidental community theater performance had completely traumatized him. "I couldn't sleep for weeks," he told me. "Every time I walked anywhere, I kept expecting random people to start narrating my life and rating my walking technique. It was like being followed by a Greek chorus of suburban judgment." He'd been so unnerved by the experience that he'd applied for legitimate jobs the next day, figuring that having 12 neighbors provide detailed commentary on his criminal performance was a sign that maybe crime wasn't his calling. The shop owner later told me he was their most reliable employee. Apparently, when you've been publicly critiqued by a retired librarian while attempting burglary, customer service complaints seem pretty manageable.